What's up once again? You listen to Being Poetically Correct with your host MVP, most valuable poet, the proud radical Diana Black Puerto Rican man of God from the Bronx. My life started it. And this is a part 2 for today's segment, and I wanted to share a poem that was very powerful because the Lord spoke to me in a dream. And the dream was so profound and prolific that, I had ideas in my mind as far as how to start going about it. Then my wife had got a vision from the Lord and said, babe, this is something you want to write about. And I'm seeing the phrase, and the phrase called Born with the Purpose, and it's from the book of Judges, about the book of, from Samson. And when I share this poem, and I'm going to reflect and elaborate what that poem means and how the Lord spoke to me, you're going to see why. And the reason why the poem is called Born with the Purpose, because every one of us have a purpose as far as what's our duty. Some of us have figured this out at an early age. Some of us, it took longer. Some of us has not even discovered it yet. But I remember in the book of Judges, when Samson was declared a Nazarite by the angels to his mother because the mother was a barren, that she'll bear a son. He was born with a purpose, and the purpose was that he was supposed to be driving the Philistines out from the area that they was living in. The Lord showed me in a dream of something like that, very similar, but in this era that I grew up in. So I want to share what this poem means, and when I read this poem and recite it, you're going to see why this poem is very personal for me and just what it means to the public. And this poem goes like this. It's called Born with the Purpose from the book of Judges. The Lord spoke to me in a dream. He was showing me that I was born with a purpose. I didn't know at the time what was my purpose. I thought my purpose was to be a survivor. I asked if surviving meant to kill somebody. That is what Samson did when he was feeling threatened and in danger. The way the Lord showed me in the dream has some of its similarities. The same took place in the Bronx at the bodega, where the Philistines were the drug dealers and pushers of my generation. The Israelites were the people of my neighborhood, frightened like the spread of coronavirus that's injecting fear in their hearts and soul. The Israelites are the people of my era. We're living life in hysteria because of the Philistines' lifestyle that included the drugs, the women, the money, and reputation of being a killer. I was surrounded by the Philistines at the bodega. I can hear my Lord telling me, your duty is to drive the Philistines out. The Lord transformed me to Samson. I yelled out, you can scare the Israelites, but you don't scare me in the name of Jesus. And I started pounding the main Philistine drug kingpin to where he was decapitated. The pushers got it too. Interestingly, there wasn't a jawbone of a lion where it broke in half to continue the combat. The Lord showed me why there was no jawbone. He didn't want me to be a killer, for my Lord didn't want me to be a man of blood, but a man after his heart. Instead, Jesus showed me to drive the Philistines out and unite the Israelites. The Lord showed me why I was born with a purpose. I know my purpose. What is your purpose? And that's the poem Born with the Purpose from the book of Judges. Let me elaborate on that dream that the Lord showed me. And this dream is going to happen during the men's conference. Now I know it's scheduled for June 27th though, but I know it might be pushed back further, depending on the outcome of the coronavirus and other aspects happening in my life. But the conference is going to happen in itself, so it'll be to be determined as far as when. But when the Lord showed me that dream, I'm in the Bronx in the bodega. I'm just a regular man like I am that you're looking at right now. What you see is what you get. The drug dealers were the Philistines of my era. Now mind you, I was born in the 70s and the 80s, where crack and cocaine was a drug epidemic in my neighborhood at the time. The Philistines were the drug dealers, the pushers, the women, the lifestyle. It was them feeling like they're more superior than the pedestrians of folks that live in the neighborhood who were the Israelites. The Israelites were the people of my era that just lives there, but were fearful because the Philistines, who were the drug dealers, because of their reputation, their lifestyles, the money, the drugs, and all those false fascinations of something not to glorify. But because of their reputation, they were fearful. So I was surrounded by the Philistines. The drug dealers and the pushers was around me. Now I wasn't chained like Samson, when he was surrounded by the Philistines back in the Old Testament days. I wasn't chained, but I was surrounded, and I was surrounded, and I wasn't free at the time. But I heard the Lord tell me, your duty is to drive the Philistines out so that they're not going to harm you. So at that moment, the Lord had transformed me to be the Samson. Now, if everybody knows about Samson, Samson was a powerful individual who was violent, who had rage, and was strengthened by the Lord's power. The Lord had transformed me to Samson, where I was just driving the Philistines out. Just pummeling them. You know what I'm saying? I was just pounding them. They was getting punished. I was just pummeling them to a point that they was decapitated. But the funny thing was, as the Lord was using me to do that in that setting, at that time when I was growing up around, it just resonated with me so much. And if you remember what happened when Samson was pounding the Philistines out, he took a jawbone of a lion. Now the jawbone was like a weapon where he used to, kill the other Philistines as a backup. In that dream, there was no jawbone of a lion. And I'm like, where's the jawbone? Why there's no jawbone? I said, Lord, why there's no jawbone? And I realized why. The Lord said, I didn't create you to be a killer. I didn't make you to be a killer. I made you to be a man of strength that's going to unite and bring people together. That just blew my head away. It just humbled me to know that, because I was momentarily confused a little bit, because again, in the story of Judges, when Samson had that great battle, he had his brute force and power, but he had the jawbone. But in my dream, there was no jawbone there, and I understand why. A lot of times, a lot of guys get caught up with violence, and I came from a violent environment. So it's easy for me to speak of that because I came from that. And a lot of times, guys get caught up on conflict where when they feel like they're being tested, a lot of times our response is going to be to confront matter where there's going to be combat there, where there's going to be violence, where I'm going to fight, and we're just going to get it in. A lot of guys get caught up in that because by physicality, that's what we're supposed to do as far as how we handle our affairs when there's conflict there. But at the age that I'm at right now, the Lord doesn't want me to be a killer. I didn't grow up to be a killer. I thought that was my purpose at the time, was to survive, so that I don't want to kill somebody, but I don't want to die. That was my mindset at the time, was, do I have to kill someone so I don't have to be killed? And the Lord's like, nah, I got something better for you, because I didn't make you to be a killer. I made you a man of faith. I don't want you to be a man of blood. That was what he showed me. And this is an opportunity again. We had it tentatively for June 27th for the men's conference, but I don't know what's going to happen because obviously what's going on around us. As you can see, I got the mask. But this is a great opportunity to say, you know what? This event's going to happen. We just don't know what date. But you will be informed when it's going to happen. But it's going to be a powerful event. It's going to be a powerful event for brothers to unite. For the Bible says in Psalm 133:1 that for the Lord takes great pleasure to see brothers unite. And we need to unite. And it's about really combating all these things that's tempting us, from understanding what's our purpose, from temptation of betrayal, from knowing who we are, and how do we come back to our Lord as being, having that strong faith, that foundation that the Lord wants us to have, and knowing what's our purpose. And I know what my calling is. The Lord showed it to me as far as my purpose, and my purpose is to be a counselor, to exhort, to evangelize, to prophesy, to inspire the homeless shelters, to inspire the youth who are in foster care, because the Lord is teaching me how to inspire the youth and how to bring people together and how to unite and be the light that's going to shed through their darkness. So in that dream, the Lord showed me your purpose is to not be a killer, but to be a man of faith, a man of strength that's going to unite. And that to me resonated, and it's going to continue to resonate, because that's a testimony that only God has shown me, and that this will continue to inspire folks to know that, you know what, we're not in this alone. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of brothers out there doing those sorts, selling rocks and doing those sorts of transgressions. And I'm saying is that there is hope. there is hope, and you gotta hold on to that hope, and that hope is from God Himself, from our Lord Himself. All you have to do is just trust in Him and just have these conversations. As my cousin and I always said, we gotta just continue to break bread and fellowship and continue to do this together, because at the end of the day, it's about growth. It's about helping each other out. It's about connecting as far as building that friendship, because right now there's a lot of uncertainty that's happening right now. But in this time, during this course of time, it is our duty that our purpose is to inspire from all over, regardless of profession. It's about inspiration. It's about all of us being used by God to glorify His name. And that's so important for us to just remember and hold on to. And just keep this in mind and perspective, that don't be hopeless. Be hopeful. Be helpful. Don't be helpless. Be strong and not weak. And that's something that the Lord has shown me. And I truly pray that this will inspire the community to say, hey, you know what? You're not alone. We're in this together. Never mind the whole social distancing aspect of that, because you know what's going to happen once it's passed on with? How much you want to bet you're going to see people being germaphobes, not want to hug someone, not want to touch somebody. Listen, don't use that terminology and allowing the devil to come in and infiltrate separation. No, we must unite and come together. Folks, thank you for listening in. I pray that this has inspired you with the message that the Lord has put in my heart to convey. Stay strong. Stay calm, stay good, be courageous. Don't live life in fear. Remember, faith over fear. Know that God loves you, I love you, we love you. Let's continue to unite as one body of Christ. God bless you. Thank you for listening to MVP, being politically correct. We're gonna go at it again till next time. Out.